what is the end goal of all this? Like to get rich, to make a living doing this, or
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today for the Indigenous Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today, I have Heather Gomez and Dustin Aguirre with us to talk about their multiple businesses that they have. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But if I could just have you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll just get into the discussion.
I'll go first. My name is Heather Gomez, and I am an enrolled Jicarilla Apache Nation member. I live here in Dulce, New Mexico on the Jicarilla Apache Nation reservation, and I am the owner of Big D Flooring. And I'll let Dustin introduce himself.
I'm Dustin Aguirre. I am originally from Texas, and now I've lived here with Heather in Dulce for the past year plus now. And I am the manager and operator of Big D Flooring.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today. I think just to get started, can we have you talk about what is Big D Flooring? I think just to start off, and how did you guys get started with your flooring company? Like what did that look like starting up?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So I was actually an apprentice for 2 years down in Texas, and I learned so many skills from these two men who had 20 plus years of experience. So I just took that to heart. And when I met Heather, I told her, my background and my skills, and she just took off with it. She was like, "Okay, well, we're gonna start this company, and we're gonna go." And that was basically how we all started. It was super fast. Everything just fell into place almost instantly. And we've been up and running this business for over a year now.
Yes, we are a small business, and I was just really excited being the right partner, because the partner for me in our like personal and like on our business side, and that's so important to have the right person to move forward with when deciding to run a business and to start a business. And it's always been my dream to have my own business, so it was like a no-brainer whenever we came together and decided to move forward with having a small business and providing services in the rural areas that we live in, northern New Mexico and southern Colorado, and on the Jicarilla Apache Nation. And I never knew that I would end up, in the flooring industry, flooring installation industry, but here we are. My family, on my Gomez side, my grandpa was an entrepreneur. He and his brother opened up a 7-Eleven in Lumberton, New Mexico. My grandpa's name was Jean Gomez, and my uncle was Pancho Gomez. So I grew up as a kid knowing, that my family owned a business, and the 7-Eleven was a gas station, a convenience store. They had a bar and a package side. And I just grew up being there, and I just loved, knowing that my family owned their own business.
So it sounds like you were kind of influenced from a young age to have that entrepreneurial mindset and just like being a business owner. Would you say that's kind of impacted where you're at now and influenced just who you are as a person?
Yes. And my family also, they came from like a bloodline of ranchers, and they owned cattle. So there was a business side with that aspect too. So I've always been surrounded by people, who had goals and were about business. Like my grandmother was a businesswoman. My grandpa was a businessman. So.
That's awesome. So with Big D Flooring, what are some of the maybe challenges that you guys have come across with starting up the company? Has it been easy sailing, or has there been areas where you like have had questions? How have you navigated just figuring out how to start a business?
Yeah, I would say in a rural area, um, it's hard to get your name out at first because everybody knows everybody and no one knew who Dustin was. So every time he went to go do a job or a consultation, they were like, "Who are you? Where did you come from? We're not Jicarilla." So um, that was a challenge in the beginning. But now that we've been advertising and we've been doing more community events this summer, we were in the parade here for Little Beaver and Dulce. We were in the parade for Chama, and we had this banner that said Native American women owned small business. So I wanted to put that out there so people knew. And then another challenge that we have now that we are closer to our 1 year mark is just finding people who want to work. Like we did mention that we were hiring. We put out some flyers on social media, and I think we only had one person call. So that has been a challenge as well. Thankfully, Dustin can handle everything without, us having to hire someone else. But I know that there may come a day where we're like, okay, we really need some people. So hopefully we can find, people who are responsible, who want to work. And Dustin will train too, like the right person, like even if they don't have any experience in flooring, Dustin will teach them those skills. So
I do think that that is one of the biggest things, is not having someone to come and apply. Like there is any help and nobody wants to work. I think that is one of the most difficult things about this first year. Like, even though, yes, like she said, I can do it all, but that's difficult on its own. It's like, yeah, I get to keep all the paycheck to myself, but I gladly pay somebody an hourly rate to come in. That I think is a downfall. It helps, when you do have the help to finish the job, even faster and get those things done without having to stop and do. So if anything, I think that has been one of the most difficult issues, not having extra help and putting in 100% of my effort for it. When they say, would you rather have 100 people put in 1% of effort and help to you, or you do it?
Well, I have some potential options for you guys when it comes to hiring. I don't know if you've heard of New Mexico Workforce Solutions Pre-Apprentice Program, and then the JTIP program. They might be able to help you find, especially the Pre-Apprentice program might be helpful. I don't know if you've looked into that yet or not.
Oh, nice.
I'll send you the information though. But yeah, I just learned about them this week, so I'll definitely link that in this episode, but also send it to you because it might help you guys find someone to hire because they kind of match make with youth that are like 16 to 24 years of age, and then like they learn the skill and it's the purpose, and then they can help pay for the wages up to a certain point. So I'll definitely connect you guys with them because I think that might be something that'll be a good fit for you guys. But so I guess, yeah, finding people to hire, that's hard. And then also, just putting yourself out there is also hard. But I think it sounds like you guys have been doing a pretty good job about that. And how, I guess, have you kind of overcome some of those challenges you touched on it a little bit, but I'm just wondering if you can go in a little bit more detail.
I think, because she said, everybody did know that I wasn't from here. So, that's a bit of a trust issue. Like, who are you? Where did you come from? Why should we hire you? Why should we trust you? And, it all just came down to the job. After the first job, after the second job, people started to realize that I did do, phenomenal work, that they didn't have to call me back to fix something or make it better or come back to, redo it. They knew that it was done professionally. And that's how the name has been growing so well. It's because people, whether or not they give us a review on Facebook or Instagram or even on Google, they talk between each other. They have their own clicks, their own social media. So if they're like, "Hey, Dustin, it was did my floor, you should hire them." Well, that's word of mouth that nobody else sees besides between themselves. And that alone has also grown us, but it's taken time because we've even had somebody ask me the other day, they're like, I see that you only have one review on Google, and I want to get some more. I want to get a different consultation, or he wanted to talk to somebody else. But then he realized that there was nobody else that was going to show up. So he was like, okay, I guess we're going to end up going with you. It's like, well, for them to have to even think about that or decide on that, like, I think that's also a big situation. But like I said, our name is growing, and it's growing slowly because of the work that it has been done. People are starting to realize, and now we're getting calls almost every other week, if not every week alone, just to do another consultation. So it's been nice, but at the beginning it wasn't like that. So I did have to put in significant effort to grow the name. We could, succeed.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I think it just shows, that when you're starting your own small business, you need to be patient, but you also have to like put yourself out there and do good work. And then, I mean, marketing is super important, but if you are delivering value, then the work speaks for itself. And then the word of mouth starts to be like free advertising for you as well. And then also on that point, I think it also shows how people can support small businesses, by just leaving a review on Google. And it's just as simple as that. It takes like 2 minutes. Do you guys have like a follow-up process where you like ask previous customers to leave a review on Google?
Well, actually, no, I just started doing that. So
okay, cool.
send an invoice, send our invoices by email. I'll follow up and just be like, if you have time, please review on Google or on our Facebook page. We greatly appreciate it. And I just kind of throw it out there because I know it's very important for us to build up those reviews.
So, can you talk a little bit more about your other business? So I know we've been talking about Big D's Flooring, but I know you have another business, which is your Airbnb. What is it again? Dulce Tipi?
Dulce based Tipi.
Dulce based Tipi. Can you talk a little bit more about that and how you got started? Because I think it's really cool that you guys are serial entrepreneurs. You don't just do one thing, you have these different things going that you manage, and it's just very innovative. I think a way of just making money.
Yeah, so before I met Dustin, I already had an idea that I wanted to do some kind of TV rental, and I looked at some property and I really wanted to get it, but it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, it didn't work out. Maybe, right now isn't the right time to do this. And then when I met him, we just started talking, and he told me that he had a Tipi and I was like, what, you have a tipi? Like, I was so like excited about it. So, we ended up moving here. We set it up and we put it on Airbnb. And I think it was a little too late in the season because I think our first booking might have been in November. And it was cold and there was snow out. And I was very worried that they were going to be cold. And at that time, I think we just had an air match, like 2 air mattresses in there. So it was kind of cold. And our first guest came and they left. They were like, "We can't do this. It's freezing." We had some propane heaters, two heaters in there. Yeah. So that didn't work, but it was a learning experience. And we had it set up. The inside was very nice. So the next summer, which was this past year, we just took the air mattresses out and we put like real mattresses in there and listed it, and we just kept going from that point to now. So we have travel and we have a grill and we have like full setup, like a fire pit with chairs. We have a brand new outhouse, and we've been booked throughout the summer, and it has like the perfect view of it's also known as the Dulce UFO underground base. Dulce has been like on the History Channel, different national TV programs. So a lot of people are familiar with that. So I was trying to really target people, you know, who wanted to come out and just experience that and, you know, look at the stars and see if they see anything, you know, if they're interested in that, but also if they weren't, just coming out to relax and enjoy the Tipi. Like, it's really a beautiful experience, and everyone who has stayed has nothing but good things to say. We've had nothing but 5-star reviews in the Tipi.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had one bad review, and that was it. So
That's awesome. And I also like the story, you know, just of how, okay, the first time you tried it out, you learned from, you know, like, okay, we need to do this. We need to think about the customers in this area. And it's just like a form of customer discovery, I guess, you know, is just getting those reviews, but then also like not getting too down about, you know, one person saying like, sorry, we can't do this, it's too cold, just like learning from it. And then now look at your Tipi business, it's very popular and it's getting 5-star reviews. So I think that's really awesome, and congratulations. And maybe one day my fiance and I can go stay out there.
yes.
He's from Shiprock area, so like I've never really spent much time in the like Dulce area. We mostly go to like Farmington, Shiprock, but we go out there. So maybe next time we're out there, we can book your Airbnb.
yes, and and actually, I am taking some Airbnb classes right now online, and they are targeted for like rural areas and for Native American reservations. And when they found out that I had the Tipi and that I've been successful for the past year, they were like really excited, and they asked me to be a speaker at an upcoming event. So I'll be doing that. So I'm really looking forward to that side of our business, the Airbnb side.
And the paid position
Oh, yeah.
at that. So it's another form of income right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations again. And I think it's really cool because it kind of leads into my next question, just about how entrepreneurship has impacted you all and your life. And if you can speak a little bit about that, and then also how you see like going forward, just having more people think about entrepreneurship or starting their own business, like how could it impact your community in Dulce on the Jicarilla Apache reservation?
So I think, you know, starting your own business, it's a life-changing event. And there are times where you're like, I'm not sure if I should do this or not, but if you want it bad enough, you will. And I feel like right now I am in that time period. I'm just very positive. I try to take advantage of anything that I can, like networking events. Like today, for example, we're going to Salmon College for AIBE's networking event. And 2 days ago, we went to the Economic Alliance Summit in Ignacio, Colorado at Skyview Casino. So that was good for us to be able to go and network with like the Southern Colorado region. So that was great. So, I will always be very positive when talking about starting your own business. And I see so much potential here with people that live on the reservation. A lot of people sell food, and they actually sell food out of their houses. And I just wish that our tribe had more programs for people who want to start their own business. I think that would be great. And also, I really recommend like doing your own research and finding programs like I mentioned, AIBE, which is the American Indian Business Enterprise, and that's with UNM, I believe. And I took some classes with them, and it has just been like a really great experience for me. And then finding out about other programs, the Arrowhead Center has been really helpful. New Mexico Community Capital. All of these programs are great, and going to the events, you meet people, you network, and that's how I met you. And now here we are on the podcast. So I would just encourage anyone who does, want to start a business for it, and get a mentor as well. There's programs, and there are like so many people out there who want to help you, and it can be overwhelming at times because I feel like I have so many resources, and I'm like, okay, because the resources are there. And yeah, do you have anything to say to that?
I think, for people trying to get into business or even into the entrepreneurial world, there's a lot that, the higher up people don't really want everybody to know. It's like they want you to stay working that 9 to 5. They want you to stay on that hourly rate because it makes them more money. So the less that, the common person knows, the better it is for them. But really, it's like once I started to learn how money is actually made, when you think about how much somebody makes on a 9 to 5, and they make between $100 and $200 a day, depending on what their hourly rate is. And when we got our first check, which was in one day for $2,000, it opens up the mind to be like, this is how we can make money. This is how we can grow. We don't have to wait an entire month to make that $2,000. We can make it right now in this very first week. And when you start to see money that way, when you start to understand the more effort you put into your own life and not somebody else's dream, then you will start to create wealth and a well-being of your own life. And I think just people don't know that. And it's hard to find the right mentor or, the right leader to show you that, because not everybody wants to share what they learn. Not everybody wants other people to rise up. And I think that's actually kind of difficult to find in life. I mean, yes, we go to these events and everybody there is on the same page because they learn from, somebody, and it could be a room of 500 people. Well, I mean, there's billions of people on this earth. It's like only 500 in that room know about it. What are we doing wrong? But I think there's not enough classes, there's not enough information or teachings, right? So if there was a building here on the reservation and they're like, come and learn financial business or come and learn any kind of business sense, things could change, but not everybody is uncomfortable with that 9 to 5. They're very in their comfort zone, knowing All I got to do is wake up at 8 o'clock, I clock in at 9, I clock out at 5, I get my paycheck in 2 weeks. They're comfortable with that. And it's either the way they were raised or what they don't know into this business or in the situation of entrepreneur or small business growth or any all. It's knowing that you can create something for yourself. And I don't know. I think it's not always easy. And sometimes it's not very hard either. There are things that come very easy, like the fact that I have the skills for do all the flooring, and he has all the skills on the other side with the tech and the digital. It's like we came together. If I'm 50%, she's 50. Well, now we're 100. And that's we need it because I didn't really do the tech side and the digital side. So it's like both of our skills together is making this very easy. But not everything does come that way, and you have to go out and find the right person or go out and find the right partner, or that may look. I would say anything. It's like wisdom is just being an old person, elder, trying to tell somebody else what to do. Wisdom is applied knowledge. So if you know something, go do it, apply it to your life. Yeah.
Like that. Wisdom is applied knowledge. That's, I think, very insightful for sure. And definitely like the entrepreneur mindset. And when it comes down to it, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. So it's good for us to have those 9 to 5 jobs, and then because businesses need employees. But I do think, and we like at UNM Rainforest Innovations believe that like everyone has the right to start. So the right to start a business. And I think just kind of empowering people to understand that, that there is another pathway for you. You don't have to go get that 9 to 5 job. Like you can go try to create your own thing if you want to, and so we're very passionate about that. And I agree with both of you and with Heather, like there's a lot of potential, and especially for tribal nations. And that's what our program is kind of trying to help promote and figure out areas like, okay, where can we help tribes, maybe develop an entrepreneurship department or, like office of entrepreneurship, something like that. Because like you said, a lot of people already sell stuff like from their homes, they're artisans, they're making food. They have that already like entrepreneurial small business mindset of like, what can I do to, I need to make money, I need to pay my bills, but like we're trying to, say like, well, you can also take it to the next level too, so thank you both for your insight and experience on that. So I think one of the last questions that I have, unless we like continue to like discuss things, but if someone is interested in pursuing entrepreneurship but hasn't taken the leap yet, what is a piece of advice that you would give to them?
Just to take initiative. It might be scary at first. Just, do your research and find your resources and surround yourself with like-minded individuals, meet friends who have balls and who maybe are entrepreneurs themselves, get a mentor. with like the internet today, I mean, we can look up anything and find out about anything, online. So definitely research is a big key. Knowledge, like learning, if you can do a webinar on whatever subject, take advantage of those free classes that you don't have to pay for, because that's what I've been doing. And it's an awesome experience for me. I sign up for everything that I can. And sometimes I'm like, I'm so busy, like I have so much stuff to do now, but it's because I want taking the initiative. I definitely recommend that. And I am also taking a class right now. And it's been great experience so far, because I am meeting like female entrepreneurs from all across the country, and just they're all the East Coast, and everyone has different businesses. A lot of people are doing coaching or consulting, just so many different people. But it's nice to be able to be a part of their group and network with them, and you become a part of this community that will be like, you'll have lifelong connections from this. So that's taking initiative. So apply if you see programs, definitely apply. I also am a digital editor with NPR's Next Gen Radio, and how I got to that point of actually being, paid to do that program was because I applied. And I was the student on the mentor position. So I would definitely just encourage everyone to take advantage of any opportunities that you can.
I think if I were to add anything to that, I mean, yes, exactly what she said. If you see an opportunity, take it, take the initiative, go for it, because it might not come back around again. And, if you have an opportunity, we'll make a plan, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I mean, it's as simple as that. And I think if you do start anything, just choose not to quit, because as long as you don't quit, you'll never fail. And that's with every lesson. Not everything is a loss. You take an L, turn it into a lesson, and make sure it doesn't happen again. And you'll soon see success.
I think that's really good advice. And I also think, just from the short time I've known her, Heather seems like the queen of initiative and taking action, which I think is awesome. And that's why you guys are successful. What are some goals that you have in mind for Big D's Flooring, the Tipi business, and then like anything else going forward?
Well, definitely for the flooring business, a goal is to get like into the government contracting, getting certified, or whatever I'm available like to get certified in. I've taken a lot of classes and I'm familiar with everything, so I know what I need to do. So I have like a list. That is the goal for the flooring business eventually, and just to keep expanding in our area, in the local, like rural areas, and hopefully, being able to take on some younger individuals who want to learn and, do the internship program with them. I think those are the two main goals that I see in our future for the flooring business.
What I want to add to that, actually, real quick, is everything she just said. One of my personal goals for the flooring is to actually find a couple people to, bring into an apprenticeship and teach them this particular trade skill, and them, be able to go to another city or another town and start their own business. I would love to on someone else, not just for myself. So that's one of my my feelings and my personal me, someone else. Mm.
Yes. So with the Tipi business, you plan to add 2 more Tipis for next summer. And I want to do at least one of them, like a traditional style Tipi, like Jicarilla Apache traditional Tipi, and have that whole Jicarilla culture experience. So that would be more aimed. I'm not really going to like put too much on the UFO. Like we'll have the option, to be mostly based Tipi, the UFO Tipi, and then the traditional Tipi. And then I don't know about the third one yet. We'll see. Maybe combine both and put them together. So that is the goal for the Airbnb business. And I'm actually taking a class right now. I forgot to mention, but it's with George Washington University and the American Indian National Tourism Association. And I'll receive a certificate in cultural heritage tourism. And it's just been great too. But I'm learning so much in that class and networking with people, and I can't wait. I definitely want you to come stay in the Tipi. I would stay next summer when it's really nice. The weather's nice and warm because now it's getting pretty cold. September 30th is our last date for the Tipi this season, and we're booked on our last night. Cool. So we can go out with a bang.
But thank you both so much for sharing your words and your story and just for the work that you're doing in your communities. I really feel like you guys are leaders or like emerging leaders, especially with all the courses that you're taking, Heather, and then like your passion, Dustin, for doing the apprenticeship or internship program. I'm definitely going to send you guys that information with New Mexico Workforce Solutions, because that's what, like, at least in my opinion, this like entrepreneurial ecosystem and economic development is all about. It's about those grassroots initiatives of people starting their own businesses at home and then growing from there and really developing their communities in the way and the direction that they want it to go. So I just commend you both for the work that you're doing, and I look forward to just continuing to follow your journey. And I hope like UNM Rainforest Innovations is here to support you. We really want to help nurture entrepreneurial ecosystems. So we'll definitely continue to be in touch to see how we might be able to collaborate on that. So before we get off, where can people find you for Big D's Flooring and for if they want to go check out Dulce, New Mexico and stay in your Airbnb?
So you can follow us on Instagram at Big D Flooring or on Facebook. And we do have a website. The website is bigdflooring.com. And for the Tipi, you can follow us on Instagram as well at Dulce Base Tipi. And on Airbnb, just look up Dulce, New Mexico, and we are the only one in Dulce with the Airbnb. So I don't think it will be that hard to find.
Again, that just shows that you guys are trailblazers, innovators. Like you thought of something that someone hasn't thought of yet. So, well, thank you so much. And we will definitely be in touch.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.